The United States making major strides against the coronavirus. Average daily new cases now at the lowest level in nearly 7 months. It's all great news, but despite the progress, many Americans are still concerned about a return to pre-pandemic life. A recent CNN poll showing nearly a third of Americans are not comfortable going back to normal routines. We've been living with restrictions for more than a year, social distancing, wearing masks. Well, now things are drastically changing. I want to bring in now Kenneth Carter, professor of psychology at Oxford College of Emory University. Thank you, sir, for joining us. This is amazing because I finally got on an airplane recently, traveled to the West Coast to do the documentary that I just talked to Spike Lee about. And I had friends there who going to lunch one day was all they could do in one day, and it was really an effort for them to get back to normal life. And they don't want to go back into the work environment right now. This is real.
Yeah, absolutely. Catherine Wu wrote an article in The Atlantic about what she's calling post-vaccination inertia, people who really aren't ready to sort of enter into the things they can do, even if they are vaccinated.
And why is that? Explain what's behind that.
Yeah, so whenever we make a decision, we're making these little mental calculations all the time about, what the risk is and what the reward is. And, I was fully vaccinated maybe about a month ago, but things don't seem different, because you can't tell who's vaccinated and who's not. And so you're still trying to make the best calculations that are going to continue to keep you safe.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because what do you think behind it? Is that people have been sitting at home so much? I think, quite honestly, I think people have, I don't know if they've lost, but their social skills have certainly diminished.
Yeah, absolutely. I think part of it's sort of getting used to doing those social things. But for a lot of people, there was a lot of anxiety around the danger of COVID. And after they've been vaccinated, it takes a while for that anxiety to power down again. You just can't turn it off. I mean, we're hoping that the pandemic is sunsetting, but there's not going to be a big sign that flashes, everything's safe, it's fine. And so you have to sort of take small steps in order to do the things that are going to make you feel safe and comfortable.
Of course, in many places, Kenneth, people have been acting like nothing has happened, resisting masks, rejecting guidance, refusing vaccines. And those people don't seem to be anxious at all. What explains that?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of people who are, maybe have already been out in the world who never were that anxious to begin with. A set of people that are taking some, measured steps, and then a small set, actually about 30% you suggested, that really aren't ready yet because they're not necessarily feeling as safe as they might be.
Kenneth Carter, such great information. This is real. I know people who, and have members of my family, who they're having a hard time getting back to normal. Even I find myself when I'm outside, I'm like, oh, I don't have to wear a mask. But when I take it off, I feel guilty and I look around and say, well, everyone else is wearing their mask, but I know I don't have to because that's the guidance right now. It's going to be interesting to watch to see what happens. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Debris from a Chinese rocket rushing towards Earth expected to hit this weekend. But where will it hit? That's a total mystery.